How you doing? It's Ray from EducationCareers.ie. Today I'm with Gerry Duffy, Principal of O'Connell School in Dublin 1, and Gerry's going to be talking to us about recruitment. Gerry, welcome.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you very much.
Hiring teachers, what qualities do you look for when you're hiring a teacher?
Well, I suppose you're looking for somebody who has a very positive disposition to life, Ray. I suppose in the old days they used to talk about the 4 hours or the 3 hours of education, reading, writing and arithmetic. And what I look for now are the 4 hours. Somebody who, I suppose, has a good relationship with the kids, who's a good rapport with the kids, someone who is reasonable, and most importantly, someone who has the ability to reflect upon how things are going for themselves. So essentially, I mean, you're looking for somebody who can connect well with the kids, no matter what their subject, no matter what their level. You're looking for somebody who you could say, that person, that young man or that young lady would be very good in the class at connecting with the kids, irregardless of their ability.
And it's obviously it's extremely competitive out there. So what advice would you have for any teacher out there trying to get a job today?
Well, I think your CV is very important. It should be no more than 2.5 pages at most. I think it's very important because it is putting you in the shop window, as it were. I think it's very important. Extracurricular activities are very important because not alone that it sells you, it's your USP, your unique selling point, but it also is good because extracurricular activities like drama or sport, it allows the kids, the pupils, to see you in a different light, and you also can come out of the classroom. So in that sense, it's a very good thing to have a nice body of extracurricular activities available.
So you obviously get a lot of CVs in here for various jobs. What makes a CV stand out, or what do you look for in a CV?
Well, first of all, it has to be well designed, good layout, correct spellings. Let me just use this opportunity to point out the correct spelling for the word principal is P-R-I-N-C-I-P-A-L and not P-R-I-N-C-I-P-L-E. But quite a few candidates have put that in. But you're looking for something that I suppose would be well designed, easy to read, and good presentation, and you can get to the nib of the CV very quickly.
And obviously there's a lot of teachers, say, who will be newly qualified teachers, they wouldn't have teaching experience. What would you say to those guys?
Well, I think it's very important for them to, I suppose, perhaps they may not be able to get, a lot of people don't get a teaching career straight away, and they may have to do substitution work. Some teachers I know have worked as special needs assistants, getting valuable experience. So I think there has to be a little bit of knowledge that they may have to take that route first of all to get some valuable classroom experience. That's the very important thing. I think a good teacher always has a good set of notes, good classroom preparation, good lesson plans, well organised, gets to know their subject very well, the curriculum. The exam is important, but it's not the be-all and end-all. But they need to have a good knowledge of what's expected, the different levels, especially now we have foundation level, higher level and ordinary level, so they need to be really versed with that kind of preparation.
And for a young teacher, say, starting out, stuff like classroom management, behavioural issues, what advice would you give to someone starting out there?
Well, every school has their own ethos and behavioural code and so forth, so I think it's very important that they become familiar with that. Most schools will appoint a mentor to look after them in the first probation year, for example, and it's very important that they get in and find their own feet, whilst tapping into the huge experiences that are available in the staff room as well from older members of staff. It's important to be, as they say, firm but fair. Kids are very quick to pick up on teachers, and a liking or a disliking to a new teacher can often come with the manner in which the teacher behaves and the manner in which the teacher treats the kids. And I always say that if as I mentioned the 4 hours, if a teacher has a good relationship with the kids, a good rapport, and I suppose is reasonable and fair, well then the kids will accept it.
For any teacher out there who wants to, say, become a substitute teacher, what are the prerequisites, or how do they go? How would you go about hiring a substitute? Is it through personal relationship? Is it through someone approaching you? Do things like being a member of the teaching council and having the PGDE, are they all important? What do you look for with a sub?
Yeah, I think obviously the higher diploma is very important. Garda vetting is something now that teachers have to have organised, new teachers coming into profession, so they need to have that organised. That can take up to 10 weeks sometimes, so it's handy if it's done while they're waiting. Obviously the teaching council registration is important. how do we recruit them? I suppose the situation, sometimes we might know people who were let go in other positions because they were in a maternity cover or something like that. Again, it's very important. Again, sometimes they may not get to their main subjects. They may be asked to take course CSP or something like that to step in for a while, and which no disrespect to CSP or anything like that, but sometimes teachers have to be flexible. They have to be not so rigid. Well, I only teach this and this. A broader range of subjects sometimes can go in and do the job, and that's what you look for.
When a teacher is going for interview, what would you consider suitable dress?
Well, I think it's very important to be smart formal. It is an interview, and I think for a suit for a young man or young lady is appropriate. I think it may not be their working clothes day in, day out, but I think obviously at an interview, first impressions do count.
And just closing thoughts then for obviously a lot of our candidates on EducationCareers.ie. It is competitive. There's obviously a lot of doom and gloom out there. What would your closing words be to any aspiring teachers out there?
Well, I would say, it is a vocation. In fact, it's more than that. It's a mission. It's a sense that, you're in it because, number one, you must enjoy working with young people. That's the bottom line. There's often a saying that teachers are asked what do you teach, and they give their subjects. I would prefer somebody to say, well, I teach 14-year-olds or 15-year-olds, regardless of the subject. You've got to be able to connect with the kids and get on with them and like them and work with them. And once you have that connection, you can teach them anything.
I think a sense of humour, you'd agree, Gerry?
Absolutely. I think it's very important not to take things too personally or too seriously, but focus on the curriculum, focus on getting the job done, but in a spirit of enjoyment. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Gerry Duffy, Principal of O'Connell CBS, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you very much.